Are you ready? I said, are you ready? You are listening to Voice of the Fans Sportscast, brought to you by none other than the voices of the fans. Discussing football, basketball, news, trending topics. The one-stop shop for all things sports. Voice of the Fans Sportscast. Hosted by none other than Ben Swift Reynolds, Taylor Gatwood, 100% RC, Professor Damian Flowers, and Tyler Wright.
Welcome, guys, to Voice of the Fans SuperBowl Super Show. We have Professor Flowers, we have Randy Cooray, and we have Thomas in the house with us. What's going on, fellas?
Happy Thursday.
Yes,
What's
sir.
up, boys? How you guys doing?
I'm excited.
Hey, we doing good, man. Like I said, we have Thomas from On the Hop podcast, and we have Randy Cooray. Y'all see it. What's Up, the Sports Podcast. So y'all check them out over on their platforms, man. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Ain't that right, fellas?
Yeah.
Always, most definitely. Most definitely.
I know Chiefs fans and 49 fans are excited because their big game is Sunday. So I want to show a little hype video for y'all to get us in the mood, since none of our teams are gonna be in it. So let's get hyped about it. So we'll watch the little video real quick.
Listen to me very closely. You keep saying you ain't on the next level because of the economy. You keep saying you ain't on the next level because of racism. You keep saying you ain't on the next level because it ain't the season. You keep saying you ain't on the next level because they don't love you. You keep saying you ain't on the next level because the opportunity is there. The truth of the matter is that you ain't there because you ain't there. And there's some of you, you know what you want. You know what you want, but you are not personally willing to do the work it takes to get it. What you're trying to do is do what you've done on this level and get the next level. You're trying to do exactly what you're doing on this level. You're like, I'm getting up every day. I'm putting in 2.5. I'm putting in 3, and I'm not getting the opportunity. The opportunity might require 3.5. I'm lifting weights. I'm eating right, and I'm not getting the opportunity. It might require getting up and working out 3.5. It might require you saying no to your friends. It might require you changing your diet. It might require you moving to another city. Whatever it takes, you got to be willing to do it. And you keep saying you're not there because of something else, because it's easier to blame somebody else. Because now you don't got to do no work when you blame somebody else. They got to do it. But guess who got the power? They got the power. How many of y'all talking about people having the power? Let me see your hand. Look, you got some changing to do. If I don't get to the other slide, you got some changing to do. And I'm telling you, the reason why I'm leaving corporate and going to school, because it's easier to help a doggone middle school kid change than a grown man. It's hard changing grown men. I'm talking about hard. I'm like, yo, my ratio gonna go up. I'm gonna be a legend if I go to middle school. I'm gonna be a legend. My hair came in, people like E.T. I'm gonna do what you can. You know, I'm my own boss. When I worked at Michigan State, I had to be to work at 9 o'clock. When I work for myself, I get up at 3. When I worked at Michigan State, I get to leave at 5. When you work for yourself, you don't have no time when you get off. You don't get off. You stop when the work is done. I work harder for myself than I did and you talk about you want to work for yourself. No, you don't. You can't show up for another man. You work for yourself, you can sleep all day. You be like, I work for myself. I'm just being real. There, those of you who work for yourself, you don't even have like a vacation package for yourself. You just get off whenever you want to. What kind of job is that? You can just take off when you want to. That ain't no real job. You ain't got no insurance. You ain't paying yourself. But when you had a job, you can get there for them when they want you to get there. Oh, you had to tell them when you was gonna be sick, when you want, but for yourself, you ain't gotta do nothing. That's why you can't blow up. You ain't got enough discipline to discipline you.
All right, man. I'm ready to run through a wall right now. I'm ready to hit the field. I don't know about y'all. I'm ready to hit the field.
I was gonna say that's my boy Eric Thomas. I'll be listening to him every now and then.
Yeah.
He be going.
Maybe want to run through a wall.
You know what, you guys, of course, for those who don't know, I'm in Toronto, Canada, and when it comes to sports prep videos, you guys in the States know how to do it right. I mean, that was pretty proper.
I was thinking to myself, like, man, I need to figure out who this guy is and hire him to come over to work for VOL for some. Cause I need some videos like that. my videos don't come even close to what that guy just did. Mine just be like little simple videos. As y'all see what I post on IG. I don't have time to do all the editing and stuff. So
yeah, if you got like a $20,000 HD camera, I mean the world's your oyster, right?
Right. No, exactly. So let's go ahead and dive into it. You know, the 49ers and the Chiefs are playing the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes versus Brock Purdy. Christian McCaffrey versus the number 2 defense in the league. It's gonna be a juggernaut fest. Flowers, let's start with you, man. How do the Chiefs match up against the 49ers?
On both sides of the ball, or are we doing this one by one? How are we doing this?
Let's do it one by one. Let's give a good breakdown of this game.
Offense and defense.
Let's start with offense. How do the Chiefs offense match up with the 49ers defense?
In my honest opinion, I think Kansas City should be coming in trying to run the ball, man. We've seen San Francisco not be the defense we think they should be, in my opinion. I think that we've seen Detroit push them around. Prior to that, who they played before Detroit, or they had to buy, and then we've seen people push them around all year. So I don't see why Andy Reid and company wouldn't go out why would they go out the box and, like I say, line up, put your hard hats on, be physical with them. I think they're going to get a heavy dose of Pachenko early and often. And if anything, I'm quite sure what we've seen the first few drives with Baltimore, I wouldn't be surprised we've seen the first few drives going into the Super Bowl as far as quick passes and just leaning on Pacheco, getting the ball to Kelsey and Rice quick and often. The key to the 49ers, of course, I know we talk about Kansas City, but vice versa to that, they're going to have to probably get to Kansas City with 4. If they blitz and Mahomes runs wild, that's advantage Kansas City's way. But the main thing, San Francisco going to have a big problem trying to contain Mahomes. And I don't think Mahomes is going to probably throw it over. He's probably not going to throw it over 35, 36 times. I'm thinking Pacheco's probably going to get about 17 to 22 touches. Mahomes going to maybe 32, 33 passes. I'm quite sure it's going to be a good matchup and a balance.
Right on. I think the Chiefs should start off by running the ball, try to slow down that pass rush, try to give them, reeling bats on. And we know Andy Reid can draw up some plays. I think they got a good taste of a good defense when they play against the Bucs in the Super Bowl, and they seen how that went. I think they can take some couple of notes from how that game flipped on its head, and the Buccaneers defense just dominated them the whole way. Thomas, how do you see the 49ers offense matching up with the Chiefs defense?
Well, I think there's some good and bad to that. I think when you have the best running back in the league and Christian McCaffrey, it's easy to depend on him to set the run up, to set up the pass. So I think they're going to be doing that a lot. I think it's some interesting matchups. You're looking at the tight end and linebackers. You're looking at George Kittle taking on Nick Bolton. Then on the outside, you got Snead taking on Brandon Ayuk. I think they're going to throw a lot. Steve Spagnuolo's defense is going to throw a lot of man coverages at Brandon Ayuk. And he really hasn't did good in man coverages looks. I mean, his production has dropped when he's getting pressed on the line of scrimmage. So I think they're going to throw a lot at the Kansas City Chiefs offense. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs defense is going to throw a lot at the San Francisco 49ers offense. I think they're going to force Brock Purdy to beat them in this game also.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. Brock Purdy is the key, as we saw in the last 2 games. He's been starting slow in the first half of the football game, and luckily, he catch fire in the second half. But in order to win Super Bowl, you gotta be good at all 4 quarters. You can't just turn on when you're down. You gotta be consistent, especially against a veteran team like the Chiefs. We saw the Lions' inexperience cost them the game when it was up 20 points or so. And Brock Purdy would not be given that luxury, especially against Steve Spagnuolo, who's won the Super Bowls, who's been in these predicaments and been in these situations versus good quarterbacks. We know Steve Spagnuolo been around for long periods of time. He coached the Saints defense at once upon a time. So he will make Brock Purdy make the throws. And Brock Purdy gonna have to be on point at this type of situation, type game. Randy, if you're the coach of Brock Purdy, what will you tell him? What advice will you give him?
For me, I'm thinking not to go 0 to 100 in the first half. I think that he is obviously just a Cinderella start to his career, and being Mr. Irrelevant to where he is today. It's just absolutely incredible, and obviously he's doing something right. But I mean, so many times we've seen situations where that Cinderella team hits midnight and they got to run, and the game's not over yet. And with the way, if I was offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, whatever, I would tell Brock to not show all your cards in that first couple of plays, first quarter, first half. I think for me, I'm really interested to see where things are going to be. If it is a close game, which I am kind of expecting by half, how much is Brock going to turn up the Jets in the third and fourth quarter? So that's what I think I would tell him.
Yeah, exactly. You tell Brock to stay in his lane, to play within himself, be comfortable in the pocket, be sure of himself. We all know America's watching Brock. I'm watching Brock. I'm wearing glasses looking at him. I'm grabbing binoculars. I'm got him under the microscope.
Let's call it what it is. I mean, Taylor Swift is watching Brock. I mean, she's checking him out on the phone. She's checking his stats. She's like, where's this guy come from? I mean, like, why are they calling him Mr. Irrelevant? That's what she's trying to educate herself, like all of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She's trying to figure out. She petitioning looking for her next date, because we know Kelsey ain't gonna last long.
Nah, that's true love. That's true love.
She gotta find inspiration for new songs, guys. She just can't stay with one man. I mean, come on now, it's Taylor Swift.
She might be able to write a song called "The Super Bowl Heartbreak" if they lose.
Right. Hey, to go off a little tangent, because we saw they asked Kelsey about Taylor Swift winning with the Grammys, right? That's what it was, the Grammys.
Yeah.
Oh snap! There we go, flowers. Yeah, they and he was like, "Well, since she brought home the hardware, I got to hold my end and bring home the hardware too."
You can't. Oh, did he really say? I didn't catch that.
Come
on, Travis.
I did. PP said that.
Yeah, you can't. Come on, Travis. You got enough hardware. I mean, no one's gonna. You're going to Canton already. Don't worry about it.
Randy, they're trying to become a dynasty, man. They're trying to become New England 2.0.
Yeah, you got that right. But with Brock, man, like I said, everybody's looking at Brock. Everybody got their own opinions about him. Well, we saw Cam Newton come out and say that's 10 other guys better than him. I mean, it's not a lie, but he's his second year. Like, let him grow. Flowers. Hey, if RC was here right now, that's why I want him. I'll try to hold off for RC, but he can catch it later. He's not wrong, and that's why Brock has to
Let me say something. Let me say something real quick. How is Brock Purdy the 10th or even worse best player on the field when the quarterback position is the most important?
It is.
There you go.
It's the most important, but is he the most valuable?
Yes.
Is he? Because, I feel like They bring in 49ers have done it before. They brought in quarterbacks.
Yes, they got Debo, they got Ayuk. I know what they have.
Yeah, Kyle. Yeah, you know the stat when Debo go down, the percentage of them winning is out the roof because they run all their plays through Debo, whatever.
During the game. Yeah, okay. You gotta forget the kid ain't played 2 years. Like, why are we being so hard on this kid? I just don't get it.
Flower, you already know what I said about it. They give him too much praise. I don't like that.
Who give
First of all,
what you mean they give him too much praise?
Thomas know what I'm talking about. Thomas know what I'm talking about.
They get Brock Purdy is put in a position to have to make decisions and throws, hard throws. He's making them. But
I said, everybody want to latch on to something new, like the next and coming thing. It's just like a trend. Brock is a trend right now, so everybody.
No, Brock is
watch.
The
You say, just like Jalen, like they did Jalen, right?
American dream. He was the last pick in the draft, Mr. Irrelevant. You don't expect him to do this. That's why so many people are behind Brock, man, and he's doing well. Yes, you have to have talent. We can't sit up here and say, well, he got all this talent, and like me and RC continue to tell you. I mean, I'm a Colts fan. Peyton Manning had Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Edgerrin James, Dallas Clark. He had to have Hall of Fame players around him to be able to succeed. So this is unfair. Though I be saying it's unfair. Tom Brady before the Tom Brady you know now, Brock Purdy and this Tom Brady were the same person. This is the same thing Tom Brady went through.
It's the same thing, but people still had question marks about those guys, and it's nothing wrong with having question marks about Brock. I mean, that's what the
but like I told you a month ago, if he wins this, what you gonna say? Now, and we're here, and I said this a month ago.
It's a good team effort. It's a good team effort, though. But I want to go back to the whole Brock situation. Thomas, if Brock doesn't get the job done and the 49ers lose, what happens? What do you think people gonna say?
Well, see, this is why I said I'm on the 50-50 of what y'all were just debating of Brock Purdy. See, personally, I think Brock Purdy is a good player. I will say that. I do believe that Brock Purdy is a good player. But then it's the side of, okay, you got his roster that he has. He has all these superstars like Debo, Kittle, Ayuk, McCaffrey. Mm-hmm. Any quarterback in the league would take advantage of what Brock Purdy has in the offense. And then the icing on the cake is having Kyle Shanahan. So to that, if he loses this game, I hate to say they're going to think about, because his contract is he already doesn't make that much. I think they're going to stick with him, but I think in the back of their heads, they might be like, okay, let's look elsewhere. And we got to get a quarterback that can come in and get it done with this roster.
Yes.
Well, I think that there is definitely something to be said that there is a lot of pressure for Brock to match this season. I mean, he could be an average to above average quarterback, but everybody's going to remember this season. And that he is setting himself up, hopefully for a big payday once his contract runs. But if he doesn't get close to another championship game in the coming years, then it's probably going to be a quick out. And, he's going to ride off into the sunset.
Yeah. I mean, we even seen Nick Foles come into a situation and take the Eagles.
One thing.
And
let me say one thing. Because, Ben, you missed the concept of what it takes to win a Super Bowl. Good coach, good to great quarterback. San Francisco has both. They have that combination. They have a great coach and a good quarterback and a pretty good damn roster. That's all you need to win.
I ain't saying that they don't have that.
But you can't crucify Brock Purdy because he lines up and fits the description. Just because he was the last pick in the draft, this is, if he was, like you said, if he was a first round pick, we wouldn't have this conversation. But since
you know where I stand with quarterbacks, so it don't matter who drafted. You know how I feel about quarterbacks, so it don't matter if
5'10". So I'm saying, come on, man. Like you said, but that was your quarterback. You stood behind him, but
I mean, Drew's a good guy, but you
the
know,
man's in the house.
how can you hate
man-
Drew's a good guy?
The man of the hour need to talk. So we need to let him have it.
For RC, how you feeling over there? You got any butterflies? You know, feeling a little nervous.
No.
None of that.
Unlike the Saints, we didn't. Nobody handed us anything. We didn't accidentally get there. We got there. We earned it. I want to comment on this, man, because I've been thinking about this a lot, and I've watched. I think history is repeating itself. I watched Russell Wilson beat a Peyton Manning who had a prolific offense. Could nobody stop Peyton at that time in the Broncos? They were rolling, and that Seahawks team rolled in right up out of New York City. I watched Nick Foles beat a Brady, the GOAT. I watched Eli beat the GOAT twice. I watched Flacco. The 49ers was rolling into that Super Bowl against a one-armed Ray Lewis, and before them lights went off, they was getting smashed. I watched enough football to understand that if we're going to, all these players that they saying that are superstars for the 49ers, it's mighty funny. It's mighty funny that when I watched LeBron James win all his championships with loaded rosters, they didn't call him a game manager, did it? They said nothing about game manager. He had Hall of Famers on his team. I watched Magic Johnson win with Hall of Famers. I watched Kobe Bryant win with Hall of Fame. You can't win a championship without great players on either side of the ball.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was going to play devil's advocate and talk about the 04 Pistons, but I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
But but those guys, all those Pistons that you named, Johnson Billups was a star. He was a star in college. He came into the NBA and struggled and found his way. Rasheed Wallace is the original stretch four. Like Tayshaun Prince was a star in Kentucky. Them was some good players.
Yeah,
they just played a Kobe and Shaq that was beefing at the time. That wouldn't have went the way it went if Kobe and Shaq weren't beefing. But my point is, why is it that we ask people to do something and then when they do it, we move the goalposts to find something else for them to do? The guy is, and if anybody can play quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, why did Josh Rosen, who was a number one pick, who came through that system, why he failed? Hold on. Why did Sam Darnold fail? He's a number one pick. Trey Lance failed. He's a number one pick. Nick Mullen, CJ Beathard. This guy's Mr. Irrelevant. You screaming damage. Some things fit. You said a hat fit on your head. That's some things fit.
Because you know why it fit RC, because he doesn't turn the ball over.
That's what you want, bro. That's what you want.
But the thing is, though, in those games, those two games, he got lucky on a couple of passes.
It take a little look. It
does.
Listen,
it does. But we can't overlook those things.
Listen,
almost turning the ball over in those games.
Do Patrick Mahomes not run around and throw back across his body and throw
side on it? It's not something that you want from a court that you want your quarterback even doing.
Don't Patrick Mahomes do this? He do this stuff, right? This is
about the only one. Kyler Murray do it sometimes.
This is the new era of football. Lamar Jackson runs around, Josh Allen runs around, Brock Purdy runs around, Patrick Mahomes runs around. The only person that run around right now in the league is Jared Goff. He's in the pocket. That's a dying position. You won't see the quarterback standing in the pocket no more. The defense is too fast. But I don't want to change your mind about Purdy. I just feel like, to me,
you don't need to change. I'm more if the 49ers win, congratulations, because I'm actually, well, I ain't gonna say it yet, but it's a lot of things that need to be cleared up before I give Brock his flowers.
Listen,
so it ain't nothing personal. You always say always personal with me. There's nothing personal. I'm just analyzing what I see.
As fans, like, we gonna see it differently. We gonna disagree. I think the only thing I have is if I was a Colts fan, or I was a Saints fan, or I was a fan of another team, I'm watching this guy. I think my thing is I'm watching this saying, hey, listen, every team in the playoff got weapons. The one team that don't have weapons is in the Super Bowl. They got smoke and mirror. You tell me how Kansas City got to the Super Bowl with USFL wide receiver. It don't make sense.
No, I would like to bring up this point. I made it to this guy that I saw a couple days ago. He listened to our podcast and he asked me what I thought about the Chiefs. And I said, it's kind of funny. we have our long lost co-host T Wright in the house. What's up, T Wright?
What's going on, T?
That's good, gang.
Hey, I put out a lost and found poster for you. Cause we've been looking for you.
Find me if you want to find me. I'm at.
Yeah,
I'm at work, bro.
Thank you. I found a missing person report.
I'm
but as I was saying, man, I forgot what I was saying. To be honest,
he's so happy he can't even. He don't even know what to say. So happy he ain't seen you in a while,
hey, you know, when I started going in, I completely go off the rail. All right, we were talking about Brock.
You know what? I think that there is a comparison to that music band that comes out of nowhere. That their first song is an absolute hit. They're a worldwide legend, and then they're a one-hit wonder. And we still don't know, because Mr. Irrelevant, his second season in the league,
Two NFC championship trips.
Sure, I'm with you. Because I'm not saying anything about Brock Purdy, because I would love, it would be incredible. Like, I mean, if Brock Purdy wins the Super Bowl, the next question is going to be, who's going to play him in the movie, right?
Bro,
so like Disney, it's just another Disney movie.
Listen, bro. Brock Purdy movie is all. If Brock Purdy don't win the Super Bowl, it don't matter. It's Mr. Irrelevant. It's never happened. The position you get drafted as running back, Mr. Irrelevant, linebacker, they never make it. His history has already been written. This Super Bowl will not be won by Brock Purdy, ladies and gentlemen. This Super Bowl gonna come down between Isaiah Pacheco and the 49ers defense. Because if we stop the run, y'all might well turn your TV off. Every team we have played in the playoffs, run the football on the 49ers. And if they don't stop the run against Kansas City, they're going to lose. Kansas City gonna beat them.
I think the question then is, who are the novice fans like me going to remember? I mean, it's not going to be Nick Bosa. It's not going to be Ayuk. It's not going to be George Kittle, although he's going to have it. Although he has amazing
whoever
hair.
make the biggest catch, just like David Tyree,
But I mean,
down to the big play.
I mean, look at all these new Kansas City Chief fans because of Taylor Swift, right? And then, hey, Brock Purdy, like nobody. There's a whole whack of people who did not know what Mr. Irrelevant was. Like the whole term, the nickname, and now you got to think millions of people now know what exactly Mr. Irrelevant is.
Well, if he wins, everybody gonna be looking for them with Brock Purdy. You know how we looked at the running back position? Hold on, you know how we looked at the running back position? We devalued it. Now you're gonna stop paying Dak Prescott. Listen, how many quarterbacks have won a Super Bowl in the last 10 years? Let's say the last 5 years. Brady. And who else?
Mahomes.
Okay, everybody else getting paid. They miss the irrelevant until they do something.
Well, okay, that's fine. But I mean, like the actual term, Mr. Irrelevant. I'm saying I mean, Brock had an incredible
guys.
Well, the thing though, Randy, like America loves the underdog story.
Yeah,
sure. I know. I'm loving it. You don't.
I'm not a big fan of Disney. You know, I'm gonna watch a big game.
But listen, you're a big fan of overpaying quarterbacks to do something that. Listen, man, tell me this. Tell me this. You got quarterbacks making $40 to $70 million a year. Dak Prescott, I'm gonna use Dak, and he keep losing, and he keep getting to the same spot of that Mario game and falling off the damn thing over and over again.
So what's the point?
Listen. But you get this kid who comes in, listen, I'm telling you right now, I think if I said the same thing about Jim Harbaugh, if Jim Harbaugh doesn't win a national championship, he don't get a job in the National Football League. Like it just elevated him more because he was gonna be suspended. There were a lot of narratives, a lot of things that were gonna happen. Like I feel like once Purdy does what he do, now all of a sudden everybody know who Brandon Ayuk is. Brandon Ayuk wasn't a household name last year. His numbers went up this year. He was not a household name last year. Debo been running around in the backfield, but these guys are elevated. Juwan Jennings are elevated. They elevated. This kid does his job. That's all I need him to do. I don't need him to be the GOAT, Ben. I need him to beat one. How about that?
Okay.
That's all I need.
I'm fine with that. So Thomas, what are the keys to this game? What are the keys you think to? And you can give us your pick. Which team you think gonna win? So tell us your pick and give us the key on why they gonna win.
I got the Chiefs winning this game. I think experience is going to be a factor of Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce. I think them having that championship DNA is going to be a factor. But I think this game is going to be won in the trenches, like RC was touching up on. I think running the ball for both teams is going to be the key ingredient to win because, like RC said, the Lions and the Packers had success on the 49ers running the ball. I think it's important for Isaiah Pacheco to get going early. And then for the 49ers, I think their front seven, their pass rush is going to be important for them to get home to Patrick Mahomes and create pressure for him to make key mistakes so they can win the turnover battle, then cash in on points. So I think this game is really going to be won on the defensive side, defensive lines for both respective teams.
That's right on. All right, Flowers. Who are you? Who do you have, and what's their key to victory?
You know who I got. I've been riding this train since last year when Brock got hurt, and as I stated in the beginning of the season, the San Francisco 49ers are on a pissed off revenge tour, man. So why would it end now? Give me San Francisco in a close game. Kansas City's gonna keep it close. I just worry about them. Kansas City might come out, start hot, but they tend to slow down these second halves.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that might be the thing to bite them, but the main thing the 49ers need to do, get pressure on Mahomes with 4, protect Purdy. And Kansas City might make Purdy try to beat him, but I think he's capable with the weapons. But I just think it's 49ers time, so give me San Francisco.
Okay. I can feel you on that. You have been riding with Brock since day one, so I can dig that. RC, surprise us. Who do you have in this game? What's their key to victory?
Man, listen. So in 19, we were 6 minutes away from winning the Super Bowl. We had picked off everybody's GOAT twice. I got my brother-in-law is actually training with Tavares Moore, who picked off Mahomes in the Super Bowl. And the one thing that they talk about is, finishing. And it's 11 guys on that 49ers team that's back in that Super Bowl. They played in that Super Bowl. Debo Samuel was a rookie. Nick Bosa was a rookie. Them guys know what it felt like to lose. I think now Kansas City is walking into a bus. All chips going to be pushed in because the NFC getting better, ladies and gentlemen. The NFC is getting better. I think the Commanders are going to be better. I think if they don't win now, this is it. The Niners won't win. It'll be another 10 years because the league is getting better collectively. And I think you're going to see all chips pushed in. You're going to see the best version of that defense. Offense has been consistent. I think the game will be close. I'm looking for a situation where they're going to ask, and this might sound weird, y'all, they're going to ask Mahomes to throw the ball 50 times. They're going to stop the run and say, beat us. Show us that Kelce and these USFL receivers can beat us. I think you're gonna see Mahomes. He's gonna have to put on a show. And if Mahomes win this game, he automatically catapults into that GOAT position for me. I know them 7 rings don't mean anything. This is impressive what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. All right. Before we move on to Randy, before I ask Randy, RC, is this true? The 49ers are considering benching Chase Young because they said he have a habit of taking several plays off.
Well,
we don't to be a liability.
We don't bench anybody. It's rotational. He comes in and out. His second halves are better than his first half. I think he don't fit the defense. I think he's finding his way through it. But to bench him in the Super Bowl would be stupid. He will play, and you playing against a very vulnerable offensive line. All they do is hold. So you got Bosa on this side, Chase Young on this side, Hargraves and Armstead. Let's get after him. You get to the Super Bowl. You gonna get to the Super Bowl and take plays off. You gonna get to the Super Bowl and take plays off. You need to be big.
Well, y'all had 0 sacks versus who was that?
Look, pressures, brother. Pressures matter.
Oh, now you saying what I've been saying
every
time.
You're not playing the video game.
When I say about the Eagles.
You're not playing. The video
here we go.
You're not playing the video game.
What? Sure, Eagles. It didn't help.
Yeah, I always talk about Jalen Carr and his pressures. No, it ain't no sack though. I always talk about pressures. Now you want to talk about pressures. I see how it is.
He was
oh, okay. All right, Randy. Who do you have, and what's the key to their victory?
T-Rack, what's wrong with him?
Man,
I am thinking Casey. Like Thomas said, I think experience is huge. I mean, if San Fran does take it, I mean, I think that they're going to go really heavy on McCaffrey. Casey's rush defense is pretty like it's 19th. I'm catching in the league. So I mean, I don't know if Brock is going to have an elite level game, but I mean, I think if San Fran does take it, I think it's going to be on what McCaffrey could do. But I mean, hey, Casey's been there, and there's no reason why I think that they're going to get denied again.
All right, T. Wright. Who do you have in the key to victory?
Much as I hate to pick against Mahomes, I got to go with the 49ers just to like piggyback off what Flowers said. They on a revenge tour. They know what it's like to lose.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really going to come down to the trenches as well. Like RC said, their O-line is kind of vulnerable. And you got over there, and we know it. And but I will say, they should not let it get to if Mahomes has the ball last to win.
It's gonna be a wrap. It's a wrap. All right, so we have 2 Kansas City, 3 49ers. Me, I wish both teams would lose. I can't stand neither one of them. So I don't like definitely. I'm really not a big fan of Patrick Mahomes. He's a great quarterback, but it's something about him I don't like. Something about Purdy right now I don't like.
There's something about Patrick Mahomes you don't like as a quarterback.
Yeah, he's been cocky a lot lately.
When you answer the question, what do you want in a quarterback? Like we all your
I said I didn't like him, but I didn't say he's not a great player. I mean, I just don't really like him like that. Something about him.
Is it a jealousy thing?
I think it is. Randy.
I call my brother and his family, so it's definitely not a jealousy thing.
But I'm saying, bro, I don't know. Can you tell me one quarterback before you answer that you actually like love, like he's just...
Oh man, I was a big John Elway. I love John Elway.
So you don't like no current quarterbacks today?
Oh yeah. I like Josh Allen and Herbert. I love those guys.
You love those guys, but you don't like Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, a lot of people don't like Patrick Mahomes.
Listen, bro.
He hates the great.
He the only shot they got. If Patrick Mahomes get knocked out the first quarter, turn to you.
Yeah. Well, the Browns. The Browns proved that wrong a couple years ago when they lost to the GOAT Chad Henne.
We're not losing.
Friend of the show.
Late 2-3 plays, man.
Hey,
with the whole game.
GOAT came in. Chad Henne changed Baker Mayfield's whole life.
He did.
But I'm gonna say if I had to choose, I feel like the Kansas City Chiefs are still covering up band-aids on the offense. I don't think they still there yet. We saw them in the previous game struggling. Patrick Mahomes throwing his helmet all over the place. Kelsey yelling at the refs. So I'm going to go with the 49ers because I feel like they have a more solid roster. I'll say that on the offense side of the ball and defense side of the ball. Better playmakers on the 49ers team. I mean, the only guy we can look at for the Chiefs is Kelsey. And you can't really rely on Rice, the rookie. So I think the 49ers are in a prime position to get it done, especially if they can fluster Mahomes, especially like I said, how he been acting about getting his calls. And if they get on his nerves early, then they can definitely seal the game. And let Brock Purdy rely on Christian McCaffrey. I mean, that's why y'all got him, right?
Right.
Don't steer in a different position, different way, and run the football down the throats and see can Kansas City keep them guys off the field. Well, Kansas City is a problem. They have the second best defense. I think that's still kind of. I think Patrick Mahomes never had a defense like this that's ranked that high. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. But definitely 49ers stick to what got you there.
Put it all on the table.
All on the table.
I think we also see Kyle Shanahan get over the hump with finishing the game with the run game. Like 49ers can run the ball on the Chiefs. But you know what? I also thought about this game, man. What's weird is the fact that, you know, that Mahomes has been to like, it's like 6 straight. Is it 6 straight AFC championship games?
Yep.
Like, bro, that's
not even 28.
Like that's you know, the only thing that can stop him from getting more rings, and you know, is the fact that the AFC is getting better. But also, Andy Reid's 65 years old. You know, if Andy Reid was 50, if Andy Reid was 55, we'd be in trouble.
Yep, big time.
So you already brought it up, RC. The next question is: if Patrick Mahomes do win this Super Bowl, is he in the conversation with Tom Brady?
Yes.
I'll start with Thomas. Go ahead, Thomas. If Patrick Mahomes wins this Super Bowl, can you make the argument?
I think he's already top 5 all time, to be honest, about what he's done. Like the AFC, the consecutive 6 straight AFC conference championship games, 13, 14 playoff victories already at his young age. I think if he gets the 3rd ring this year, I think it's good. We're heading into a conversation of, okay, can he catch up to Tom Brady? Can he one day surpass Tom Brady? And I think it could be in a conversation of, okay, you have who's the GOAT in basketball. I'll say this in basketball, between the discussion of Michael Jordan and LeBron James. I think if Patrick Mahomes keeps this up, and especially if he wins on Sunday, we're going to be on that collision course of, okay, who's the GOAT at the quarterback position between Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes one day.
Oh, yeah, what do you mean? I muted my mic. I do that sometimes. I had to have it. Because, you know, when somebody talking, I usually mute it sometimes, so I won't interrupt or whatever. But Flowers, who do you think? What do you think about Patrick Mahomes surpassing Tom Brady, especially if he wins?
He's a great chance for it, man. The only thing that Mahomes had to check off in my booklet was to go on the road, because we've always seen him at home. Man, he's did the gauntlet. He has a chance to win another Super Bowl. It'll be his 3rd, like I say, 6 straight AFC championships. He's not even 28 years of age yet. It's 14-3. I think that's 2nd all time. So in the playoffs playoff record for, I think he's 14-3, 2nd all time. So man, he's in the clear running. Honestly, I don't even think he has to win 7 championships to even surpass Tom, because obviously the talent, you know, arm and skill is superior to Tom. You know, now Tom's, you know, preparation and everything is on a different level. But you know, we can say the same about Mahomes, because the kid's a gamer. You know, so if they win it this year, he's definitely top 3, probably top 2 conversation. If he loses this year, I don't think it stains him. You know, if he loses it this year, it doesn't stain him.
All right, Randy, what do you think?
You know, I got to put it like this. If Super Bowl Sunday was Patrick Mahomes' last game, is he at Tom Brady's level? And I'm going to have to say no. So, and let's say Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City wins. I mean, obviously, he's on a trajectory to surpass Tom Brady. And I agree with Flowers. I'm with Flowers 100%. He doesn't have to win 7. But, I mean, quarterbacks who have won 2 versus 1. I mean, off the top of my head, Eli Manning's won 2. His brother Peyton's won 2. Who's better? Everybody's going to say Peyton. Right? I mean, like, the number doesn't mean anything.
Maybe. That's counting it.
Eli's, I don't like Eli.
Yeah, you're right. Well, like,
he might be better in bigger moments.
Sorry. Did I say Eli was better? No, I meant.
No, you said better. Yeah, Peyton.
Okay.
Yeah, he counted Eli
because Eli showed up in bigger games better than Peyton. But this,
but he was mediocre most of the time.
You guys answer this question for me, because I don't know. Is Eli Manning a Hall of Famer 100% automatically?
Not 100%.
No.
I'll put him in there.
See,
if that means if you put him in there, you got to put Phillip Rivers in there too.
No, you don't. Even though Phillip's a Hall of Famer,
Phillip have better numbers. He has
Eli's
better
a Hall of
numbers.
Famer, man. Eli's a Hall of Famer, bro.
He's not.
He started.
If Fred Tarkenton is a Hall of Famer, Eli Manning.
Man, come on. Come on, Frank,
Bryant
man, he was a
talking.
baller.
Bryant talking.
You
He
see how
did what
small
he
you
did.
see how small
Twice.
Frank was. He was a baller.
The greatest
You
coach.
don't care how
twice.
small he was. He ain't got no jewelry.
I mean,
he went to the Super Bowl in purple. He left in the black.
Purple he
hurt.
with the
Hey,
come
look,
on, man.
I guess the reason why I'm asking with regards to Eli was he ever in MVP conversations throughout his career? And like you guys answer that. I don't know. I mean,
I think he's had.
Was he the best player in the
spot-on
conference? Quarterback. He had spot on moments. Okay.
Tony Romo was better than Eli. And Tony Romo's better.
So I mean,
Tony Romo was in MVP conversations one or twice.
But did Tony Romo win a Super Bowl? That's all.
Didn't even get to the NFC Championship game.
But it's different variables too of why he won the Super Bowl.
I got a better one. Was Tony Romo there when Eli beat them?
Yeah, he was.
No?
Yeah,
he was there with Terry Owens.
He was there. Yeah.
And
then you had Dominic. That means Dominic McNabb a Hall of Famer.
Listen,
no.
One man has jury.
Eli down.
One man beat the GOAT twice.
But Dominic McNabb has pretty good numbers too, and he was in considerations. I think.
And
did you see the Super Bowl Dominic McNabb played in?
He did.
I guess the counter is Dan Marino, right? So I mean, Dan Marino. Everybody's putting Dan Marino potentially top 5 as great quarterback.
If Dan's top 5, Drew top 5.
So
whoa. Listen to me, Randy. Why Dan Marino is considered top 5 is because of the offense and the numbers he put up in the 80s. That was inherited. You know what he did in the 80s, they're doing today.
Yep.
So that's why Dan is considered top 5.
It gets better defense.
Yes. Right. 5,000 yards in the 80s.
Well, Dan he threw for 4,000 with the air raid.
He was Jimmy Garoppolo who could actually play. You know, in the 80s, that guy had all the women in Miami. He was balling.
Dan was incredible in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
he played in cold weather. He went to Miami and played. So Dan was solid, man.
He was the man, bro.
Swift. Sorry, just to because I know you want to move on from me, but if Sunday was Patrick Mahomes' last game, no, he's not in the same conversation as Brady, but he's definitely on his way.
Yeah, if he did win, if he did lose, I still have Brady number 1. Then I kind of got like a whole bunch of guys tied. I feel like Peyton Manning is definitely top 5.
I mean, the thing. I'm sorry. No. I guess the thing is that I mean, it wasn't that long ago when Brady retired. Right. I think it's just all recency bias that we're just so enamored.
Yeah, just like Jalen called a whole bunch of us. He didn't catch me, but he called a whole bunch of people that I know when he had a good year last year. I ain't gonna say the names, but
I mean, so many people are gonna say LeBron over Michael, and my generation are gonna say Michael over Kareem, and then Kareem over Will, and then Wilt over Bill Russell, and recency bias. I mean, it plays tricks on us.
Yeah, T-Right, what you think though? You think Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, I like what Randy
and Brady.
I like what Randy said about that being if that was his last game, I wouldn't consider him. And I think the thing that makes Brady the GOAT, part of it is his longevity. So,
right,
if we see Mahomes keep this up, at least some of this for like as long as Brady, then there's no question.
No whatsoever.
He wins. I don't think so. He's well on his way.
Yeah, if he wins, I still don't have him over Brady. Shoot, I think he'd be still tied with Peyton and Aaron.
I think you have to put him over them, bro.
I will say
I don't know. Peyton's scared. Like when I saw Peyton play, dude, he put fear.
I think in the regular and this is listen. You're talking to a coach guy here.
Yeah, I know.
I'm giving it to you unfiltered about Peyton.
Being honest,
Peyton was marvelous in the regular season. But it was too many times I see Peyton get into the postseason, and I'm like, "What the hell are you doing? What changed?"
Does Peyton playing indoors mean anything to you guys? Because I mean, the knock
That's all I'm
on
doing.
To an
Peyton.
extent.
Because
To
I
an
mean, like
extent.
if I had to pick Peyton Manning in his prime, which means an Indy, versus Aaron Rodgers, right? I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know the stats in front of me, and maybe Aaron Rodgers because of that, because of the terrain that he had to go through.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like Peyton just had the tools, like the way he commanded the offense, that you had to stay up all night prepping for him because all the stuff he did.
Funny thing, and nobody ever talks about this. Peyton Manning didn't have the greatest arm.
Nope.
Right, he didn't. He was just dang accurate with it, and he knew where he wanted to go with the football. I'm trying to tell you, when I watched Peyton, don't want to say with Flowers, I know you're a Colts fan, but when I watched him, especially against my Saints, especially against my Saints, I was scared. Like, I was literally scared of Peyton. God, he was surgical.
Hey man,
if you got a weak link in your secondary,
I would never scared.
But look who Peyton was throwing to though.
You're right.
Yeah, I know.
He got what? Hall of Famers.
That's who you should have fit.
Right.
But it was just a whole. If you didn't get Peyton off his spot, you in for a long day.
So this is the thing that stinks up the joint is we criticizing the guy saying he got a lot of weapons, but I've yet to find a quarterback that's in the Hall of Fame that didn't have weapons.
That didn't.
Drew. Come on. Hey, T. Wright, come on now. Back me up here. Drew. Drew. Yeah, like we can literally say Drew.
And what did I say
with the bare minimum?
Brock Purdy and company. What did I say about NFL teams winning? You have to have a good coach, good quarterback, good roster. Don't Drew Brees and Sean Payton fit that bill?
Yep.
I mean, it really the Drew Brees and Peyton show.
Reggie Bush was a Heisman Trophy winner, came in.
He wasn't, but he really wasn't. He avoided contact, bro. Like he wasn't that guy.
Our defenses were so big.
He wasn't Jamal Lewis.
RC, people are more scared of Pierre Thomas than Reggie. They were just scared of Reggie because he can break one, but Pierre Thomas was the guy.
Let me answer the question about the Brady thing real quick. Because I've been sitting here thinking about it. I'm going to retract my statement. I think it's I'm a prisoner of the moment. If this man loses the Super Bowl on Sunday, he'll be 2-2. All the air will be out of the balloon. What Brady has done, Brady can, to me right now, if I had to pick one in their prime, I'm taking Brady. Because I'm more afraid of Brady because I understand that Brady ain't going to be that much room for error. With Mahomes, like I said, a guy from Macomb, Mississippi, picked him off in the Super Bowl, the biggest game. Okay, so he could be had. Brady, I hadn't seen too many people just really rattle Brady unless you got to him, when he got injured that year. But dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you remember the Super Bowl, Eli beat him. He went down the field and scored. His defense was the one that gave up the points. The Super Bowl against Philadelphia, he scored. The defense gave up the points. So, man, I think
it's unfair to. Honestly, it's unfair.
Yeah, it's unfair. It shouldn't be in the conversation right now.
We have Tom Brady's whole career in front of us to be able to talk about him, and we don't know how Patrick's is going to end.
Right.
So I think it's unfair.
I think the most impressive thing about Mahomes, though, listen to me. This year, this dude came out there with receivers that were lining up regularly in the neutral zone with earrings in their nose. With you look at his receiving core, it don't even make sense. He was able to drag this team to the playoff with a dinged up Travis Kelce, who was in every commercial with a distraction in the press box, and he's in the big game. And that's what scared me the most, is that I have more respect for players and coaches who can do it with less than the ones who can do it with more, because they got something that the other guy don't. Nick Saban can't win what Jim Harbaugh had 2 5-stars on his roster. Give Nick Saban 2 5-stars and watch where he go. Nowhere. I don't believe that those type of people, they are rare. Like Russell Wilson won Super Bowl and was going to win 2, and we can't name a receiver that he had that was worth a damn.
Doug Baldwin.
Here you go. Doug Baldwin. Doug Baldwin. The only
But you
thing
know
I
what?
want to say he had Golden Tate. I want to say Golden Tate was on that team too.
No, bro, listen. But I'm saying Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl without a number one receiver and was going up and down the field on that Patriots defense. Okay?
Hold on, then you have the veteran Greg Olsen.
No. I'm trying to tell you, I'm gonna say it one more time. He didn't have a Travis Kelce, he didn't have a Deebo Samuel, he didn't have a Gronk, he didn't have the man didn't even have a washed up Jimmy Graham. He didn't have that. Like he just
later on.
I'm gonna be real. I think I'm a prisoner of the moment myself. Patrick scares me, and when I go into that game on Sunday, I'm thinking about he don't need much to get it done.
But don't you guys think that this whole Travis and Taylor hoopla is taking a little bit of pressure off of Patrick Mahomes? I mean, just a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I think it's.
I don't think he's bothered about it.
No. I'm not. I'm saying that it's relieving a lot of the pressure because I mean, let's say Travis and Taylor Swift don't exist, and like all these Swifties, whatever the hell that is, and now, everybody's distracted on this celebrity romance, and I mean, yeah, sure, the pure football fans, they're seeing Mahomes versus Brady. But there does seem to be an element of pressure that's not so much on Patrick Mahomes. Otherwise, it would be.
True.
I don't think that dude feels pressure, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man. That dude sounds like Kermit the Frog, but he ain't. That dude is not. That dude is built different. I listened to some audio of him on the sidelines, and he is wired differently.
You hear his father talk?
Yeah, but this is the weird thing about Patrick Mahomes. I think he don't really even understand what he's doing. I think he plays. If you play sports, you play with someone who they locked in flowers. It's like, and then when you see him come out of it, it's like they black out. That dude blacks out when he plays football. But
think about it too, see. He watched his father play professional ball. Yes. He grew up in locker rooms. It's nothing new to him.
He been there.
He enjoys it.
I think Purdy's like that. I think Purdy don't feel pressure. I just think he feels, I don't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
I don't supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be here. I don't talk. I really feel like, and I fear people I fear playing people like that I couldn't look at you and tell if you was bothered. You see what I'm saying? Dude, I wouldn't want to be Fred Warner looking at that dude, man. That dude looking right through Fred Warner. I'm gonna be here all night.
All right, let's move on to another topic. It's pretty fun thing to think about. Flowers. Name a player you wish could have won a Super Bowl.
Oof, that's a good question.
Very good question.
Now that I think about it, I would have loved to see.
A lot of players.
Who's all this lost? I'm trying to think of.
Randy never got one.
I would have liked to see. I would like to see Randy Moss win a championship. Young Vikings. I would like to see that young Vikings team back in '98.
That lost to the
Chris Carter.
Lost to the Falcons in '98. I would love to see that team win a Super Bowl. And if I think of somebody else before this segment is over, I'll throw it out there too.
What about you, Thomas? You have a player that you wish could have won?
For one player that hits home to me is Larry Fitzgerald. I would have loved to see Larry Fitzgerald win a ring because he gave his heart and soul to the Arizona Cardinals. And they came close to that Super Bowl, 2008, 2009 against the Steelers. Right. They were just a drive away from him getting his one and only ring. But, yeah, for what he did for that organization and him being one of the greatest wide receivers that I've ever witnessed playing the game of football, I would have been nice to see him win a ring.
Most definitely. Randy, do you have somebody in mind?
You know what? Most definitely. Because growing up, one of my first football experiences was wide right. And it would have been wonderful to see Jim Kelly win a Super Bowl.
Ooh,
I mean, 0 for
yes.
4.
Oh, yeah.
And Jim Kelly didn't want to be in Buffalo in the beginning, from what I understand. And I mean, 4 championship losses.
That hurts, man.
I mean, it was a time when obviously social media didn't exist, and I mean but I mean, think about it and how the struggle Buffalo has had since, and so definitely Jim Kelly. I did think of a second one off the top because just recently, and I started to follow a little bit of the Green Bay Packers, and he seemed to be such a great broadcaster, and I'm talking about Sterling Sharp. I would have loved to have seen Sterling Sharp because I was just really amazed, enamored at how he played, and his career was cut short, and I follow him, watch him during NFL Countdown and prime time there. Sterling Sharp would have been cool.
Great answer.
All right, RC, who you have in mind?
Man, listen, I grew up a Barry Sanders fan. I love Barry Sanders. I feel like if I could swap Emmitt Smith with Barry Sanders, Barry Sanders deserved to play in a NFC Championship game. He deserved to play in the Super Bowl. Just seeing that guy run on the big stage behind a good offensive line. And then my second one, and I struggle with this one because, it's like watching this guy lay it on the line every week, man, and then, for his teams and just fall short. I felt like, Donovan McNabb, man, T.O., that group that didn't get it done. T.O. went out there with a broken leg, though.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I'm talking about you can see him hop in the Super Bowl. I'm going to take McNabb out of it because he's the reason why he didn't win it. But just wishing that T.O. could have got one because T.O., even though he was controversial, he was one of the toughest receivers to ever play the game, dog. Like, he was a problem. Take a hitch and go, take a screen and go to the house. And then throw that T out, throw that over. I mean, but Barry and T.O.
What about you, T. Wright?
Yeah, I was gonna say T.O. and also Randy, just because they got so close, and for them to be all-time great receivers and not have a ring is really sick.
Right. Man, I'm gonna go with somebody that was there in the Super Bowl, and that was a 2 yard short. Steve McNair.
1 yard short.
Man, 1 yard. Oh man, that was hard. I was heartbroken, and I wasn't even a Titans fan. And seeing that play, man, I just felt for them guys because nobody really expect the Titans just to come in there, especially against that Rams team, to be that close.
What year was this?
99.
Oh yeah, that's way before my time.
Yeah, go watch the highlight, T. Right, man. I was pulling for. Cause I was a bit Samari Rolle fan, the corner for the Titans, and I used to love that secondary of theirs. Plus, I think they had Keith Bullock on that team too. So
Bullock might have been there.
Well, he's on. It wasn't. Javon Curse and Keith Bullock came later, didn't they?
They might have come.
No, they was on that team. Javon Curse and Keith
was a rookie. He was a rookie.
Okay, yeah. So I just love that defense, with those guys. So seeing that play, and Matt Nair coming short, man, that really stung.
Yeah.
All right, so in celebration of the Super Bowl, I'm gonna show our favorite highlights, of our favorite Super Bowl moments. So sit back and enjoy the show.
Long ball to go to Harrison like last time he got picked. Here he's going long, and a man wide open. It's Wayne at the 15. He walks in. 53 yards for the touchdown.
44. They fake it to Floyd. Young to the air. Young to Jerry Rice. Touchdown, San Francisco. Washington outside left. Roethlisberger has time. Throws to the back of the end zone. Pressure from Thomas off the edge. Eli Manning stays on his feet. Airs it out down the field. It is caught by Tyree.
Picked off. Look out. Gets past Manning, and it's Tracy Porter taking it all the way. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Play clock at 5. Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler. Unreal. Malcolm Butler, who almost made the phenomenal play that wound up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Brady got bailed out on that one.
When I'm having a bad day, I just turn on that Tracy Porter highlight of him picking up Peyton Manning. It just make me smile, bring me back.
What a time that was.
What a time, man. What a time to be alive to see that Saints Super Bowl, right?
Man,
And
that brought a tear to my eye. I'm gonna tell you the one that brought a tear to my eye, man. That play, I saw a dude lose $500 on that Seahawk Patriot game on that play.
Mm-hmm.
He gave the money to the guy, said, "Man, you won," and walked away. And the guy threw the ball. He came back and got his money. That is crazy, man.
You talking about a tear come down your eye?
Wow,
come down your cheek, man. But yeah, it's funny. I think Thomas said the one with the Malcolm Butler interception. And I was trying to see Marshawn Lynch, do ha in front of Pete Carroll's face, but I didn't see it on the video. So it must have been later in the locker room. He said he did that.
Go to show you, Tom Brady needed some luck.
He did,
Yeah.
bro. He needed.
I thought the game was done. I was walking out the house. I was like, it's over.
Of
course.
This is my knock on Tom Brady. Because I argue with people about him being better than Joe Montana. I'm like, first of all, he got caught cheating twice, right? Threw the whole phone away. Remember that? But then 2 of the Super Bowls was won on field goals, and then you had this Super Bowl that was gift wrapped to him. But Flowers, the 2 he should have won, Eli won on some bull. I still can't make out how has Eli wrapped up.
Look, that wasn't even the best pass by Eli, in my opinion. The dime to Mario.
Yes, on that side.
That's right. That's right.
He dropped that in the bucket.
In today's game, they probably would have blown that play dead. Eli in the dirt was getting sacked. They probably would have blown it dead. That was so crazy about it. All right. We are brought to you by Bet Us. We got your game. It's a sports book, right? So we have the Super Bowl this weekend. We got NBA going on. We have college basketball,
Look at that dude.
NHL. So place your bets. I knew RC was like that. Place your bets with Bet Us and win big. Valentine's Day coming up too, fellas. So I know y'all gotta get y'all special loved one something. So
for the honey.
It's hard for me because Pascal is coming back to Toronto on Valentine's Day, and
oh man,
I'm gonna have to PVR that one because I gotta get my thing on with my wife. You know what I mean?
Do what you do.
Listen, it's crazy because I was thinking about you the other day, man. Just doing some prop bets and looking at Siakam. It just don't go. He don't fit. He don't fit there.
You don't think? I haven't caught a lot of his stat lines, but
his rebounds and assists, man, it's kind of
he been putting up 20 plus though.
Yeah, he put up points.
I don't like him in the uniform, but I'm so used to seeing Siakam in Toronto.
And Halliburton's been semi in the lineup too. So
yeah.
So let's look at some of these player props. If y'all bet, this is gonna be a good time to write this stuff down. Where I just had it right now, they have the prop for Brock Purdy passing yards 248. Do y'all like that? Y'all like the over and under on that number?
Under.
I too.
Only way it's over if they down, he got to throw every possession. But I can see it.
The Chiefs have been giving up over 260 passing yards a game this year. Just FYI.
Listen, man, Lamar Jackson dropped one in the bucket. Yeah. Lamar Jackson was throwing that thing. It's just, I think, man, it's that halftime show being 2 hours? It's gonna mess with if you're gonna bet some money on these players.
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
2 hours.
Hey, he had this thing on repeat.
Yo, how many songs does Usher have?
I know Usher catalog ain't that big now.
My God.
Yeah, I realized Usher been out since 93, 94 now.
Yeah, he got this catalog stupid crazy. But I just feel like, to me,
Yeah, I know.
this game, when I put money on this game, I'm gonna put it on the players that I know.
Right.
Like McCaffrey gonna get my stuff done. He never fails. He gets my stuff done.
Do y'all like Patrick Mahomes 261?
I don't. Me personally.
He did that in the second half just in the playoffs. So
I'll take that.
It's kind of unusual. Yeah, I don't know. It's been unusual with Patrick Mahomes in his passing yards. He used to put up 300 plus easy.
Yeah, look who he's going to.
Yeah, but now it's kind of shaky. If Tony's playing, I'm definitely taking the under. Right? It's Kadarius Tony is playing. Take the under, guys. I'm trying to tell you.
And that's why let me add one real quick. Because we were talking about the passing attempt. Well, I was talking about the passing attempts. It just depends on how the game go. I think they had them at 36.5, 37.5. I can see it being under if the game's close because I see Lachenko getting, like I was saying, 20 touches.
Yeah.
Right. So we like the under on these passing yards in these games. All right, they had Trevor Kelsey at 7 catches. Thomas, you think that's too high?
Too high. He's going to be reliable in this game. I think he's good for a touchdown, though. For if y'all do anytime touchdowns, I think he's good for that. But 7, I think they got Fred Warner, sideline linebacker, going to be checking him here and now. I don't think he's going to get 7+ catches.
Well, yeah, it's like I said, Kelsey, he been doing it in yards, but not in catches. And they have Kittle at 4 catches, I believe. That's kind of surprising because I think he's going to be a key. I like take the over. I like take over on catches for Kittle.
Take Kittle's yard. He don't need 4 catches to do what he's gonna do, because I bet he's gonna be blocking.
Yeah, I agree.
They're gonna run the football, man. They're gonna make this an ugly game.
I agree.
Yeah, they actually have Kittle yards pretty favorable at 68.
Yeah, he'll get that.
And we talking about anytime touchdowns.
That's a good one.
I was thinking for the 49ers, Debo and Ayuk for any time. McCaffrey's an easy one. But Debo Ayuk for any time. We're doing prop anytime.
Prop bet.
If they give that lame ass 7 yards for Brock, I'm taking it. Bro, every time they give Brock that 7 rushing yards, he get that every time. Come on, bro. He gonna break out of that pocket one time. At least you don't got to break for one run. You got to go.
Yeah, they have Brock at 12 right now.
Or they moved it up. They get smart.
They moved it up.
They get smart.
12 yards for Brock, and for McCaffrey rushing yards, they have 92.
He get that, we win the Super Bowl.
I agree. On Underdog, they had him a pepper. I think it was like 2.75 boost for like touchdown and a half. It can be rushing and receiving, rushing. It can be. I can see him getting the 2 TDs. I definitely can see that.
I'm gonna tell you somebody we ain't talked about. And this game is bigger to them than anybody we've talked about. It's Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
If Kyle Shanahan don't win this Super Bowl, he go down in the history books. He gonna be Marv Levy. He gonna be in that category of guys who can't win. You know, he's been called a guru. He in these big moments. He's been on both sides of 2 historical comebacks. This is the last step. This is Jumanji.
You think you gotta think. It's funny you say that, RC, because how long did it take Andy Reid? Right, all those years in Philly.
The Eagles got rid of him. Yep, they said you can't get it done. You out of here.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's interesting you say that because, how many? I think John Elway had to wait till his last 2 years to win the big game twice, right?
I'm gonna tell you what's real, Randy. I'm trying not to think about it because it'll be the most amazing thing for me that I watched 2 coaches. I watched one get over that hump, Jim Harbaugh, and I'm positioned to watch another one do the same thing. Like I never thought, I'm honestly just being honest, I never thought I would see Michigan win a national championship with Jim Harbaugh. I feel like it was going to happen with someone else. He got over the hump. He won a championship. And I feel like Kyle Shanahan is in that same boat. And I'm about to go to football heaven, Ben. I'm trying to tell you right now. Win that Super Bowl on
He's about to
Sunday.
pull the hype of Spencer.
I'm going to tell you like this. If we win the Super Bowl on Sunday, I'm not talking trash to nobody. I'm going to go lay down because that's a lot of winning for a fan in 1 year with two teams. So I'm just going to.
You're going to suck it all in?
Cool.
Yeah, that'll be dope. That'll be dope, man.
All right, so let's get into some sports news. I hope y'all got those player props, guys. If not, just rewatch the show. We are definitely betting Sunday, so we might. Hey, Flowers, we'll put together a little card so we can post over
we'll
on
put a Super
IG.
Bowl card out.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. All right, let's go ahead into sports news. Y'all can commentate on these transactions and say how y'all feel. The Steelers are hiring Falcons head coach Arthur Smith to be a new offensive coordinator.
Good. Fire.
I feel bad for him. I think he's trying to sabotage himself so he can get out of Pittsburgh.
He that's his one-way ticket out right there.
Right, especially how they did beat John Robinson.
Man,
come on now.
2.0 right here. Come on, man.
All right, so the next breaking news is the Seahawks are hiring Ravens defensive coordinator Mike McDonald to be their new head coach. Yay or nay, guys?
I'm surprised.
Wow. Oh, you saying RC? You saying no? Cause he's a defensive coordinator.
You know how I feel about that. Unless you're gonna be like Dan Quinn and go get a hot office coordinator that can call plays.
And who you gonna call right now?
Ghostbuster. Ain't nobody developing. And what about Eric Bieniemy? Nobody calling Eric Bieniemy.
Hold on, you jumped the gun, RC. You jumped the gun.
Okay, my bad. Surprise.
All right, Thomas. Never mind, it's not for you. Never mind, I read it wrong. So I want to just read this right now. The Washington Commanders are hiring Dan Quinn to be their head coach. Hold on, don't say anything. So Dan Quinn came out and said that we are not going to work together here. He talking about Eric Bieniemy. I wanted him to know, man. I really respect the work he have done. I wish EB nothing but the best. So Dan Quinn is kicking him out of Washington. So actually, Thomas, good move by the Commanders.
Cowboys fan, for me.
Okay, go ahead.
I got respect for Dan Quinn for transforming the defense because in 2020 it was historically one of the worst defenses in history. But he has a history of not being an elite head coach and blowing a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl years ago. So for him going to the Commanders, I felt like the Commanders, there was plenty more options. I think they could have been more aggressive trying to get the Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson in there, being more aggressive to get Mike McDonald in there. Mike Vrabel was still there. They could have brought him in. I think they just hit the panic button bringing in Dan Quinn. And I also think it's a mistake for them to get rid of Eric Bieniemy because I would have kept him over Cliff Kingsbury calling plays.
Yes, indeed. So, RC, you like you got something to say over there.
Hey, man, I'm telling y'all right now. That's one of my teams I'm picking already right now that's going to win. They're going to go to the playoffs next year, the Commanders. They got a lot of talent on that roster. And I'm going to tell you something about Dan Quinn. Kyle Shanahan give Dan Quinn all the credit for him being what he had as a coach. Dan Quinn lost the Super Bowl because of Kyle Shanahan. He did his part. Kyle Shanahan stopped running the football and wanted to make Matt Ryan the star, the MVP, like kind of what happened with Russell Wilson in Seattle. So, but Dan Quinn, when you take a job within the division, what they say about the Cowboys? Y'all remember the movie Life? When old boy asked Ray, what they say about me, Ray? What they say about the Cowboys when I go right up the road to Washington Commanders? That mean I ain't scared of you. That mean I know you can't do nothing to me. Without me, you're not what you're going to be. What the Cowboys should have did was retain Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn was not the problem. But Dan Quinn bringing in Cliff Kingsbury, he's a good OC. He's just not a great head coach. I think it's a good fit. And they got my GM. They got the 49ers GM. And he's going to pluck people's players away from them and build a roster over there. I think they dangerous. I love Eric Bieniemy too, but I don't know what he doing. He must be biting kneecaps for real because nobody want to fool with him, man. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, nobody
like
want
him.
to fool with him.
It's
Yeah.
sad.
So does it mean that Caleb Williams is going to Washington?
Yep.
Y'all think so?
It's a chance.
Oh.
It's a chance.
Cliff Kingsbury, Caleb Williams, same offense. The offense he run at USC, Kingsbury just came from there. He was a consultant there. He was working. Okay, so it just makes sense. He did it with Kyler Murray. He gonna bring this. They're gonna bring that guy in there. They're gonna run that offense.
Couldn't they just trade for Kyler? Hold on, Thomas, go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
I feel like the Bears are not going to budge off that number 1 pick. I want them to personally keep Justin Fields, but I feel like if anybody, especially the Commanders, try to move up the 1, it's going to be a pretty penny to get that number 1 overall pick. So it's like, are the Commanders willing to do that? They don't really have that much draft capital to begin with. I mean, they got a first-round pick this year, but I think after that, they might have like a 3rd or 4th. They don't got no second-round picks. So is it going to be worth it to pair them up in Washington?
Man, you ain't been to the playoff. You ain't been to a Super Bowl in 32 years. Give it up. Give it up, man.
You got a chance to pick the quarterback.
My question is, who's picking after the Bears?
I think it's the Commanders.
Commanders.
Yeah. I think the Commanders, to me, they in the best position to me. Them and the Bears are 2 teams that they're gonna have a quick turnaround. Whatever the Bears do, gonna work for them. Mm-hmm. Marvin Harrison with Justin Fields, to me, that sounds good to me, man. They're gonna.
Yeah, I agree with Thomas. The Bears should keep Justin Fields and trade. They don't need no 1 pick. They need to trade out of that and let Washington take whoever they want, because that's what's going to happen. They're going to take a quarterback because I don't think Dan Quinn, new head coach Sam Howell, probably going to be on the back burner.
Washington, all they probably have to do, if they're number 2, is swap the 1 and 2, give them next year 1.
Yeah,
Yep.
I guess what my question is if Caleb is going to be the difference maker, like how long does he need to get to do that? I mean, Brock Purdy, yeah, sure, he's 2 years and he's doing this.
Well, we
isn't that a lot of because we don't really see quarterbacks in their first 2 years, 3 years.
Well, we could have another. We could have another.
Get to a Super Bowl, get to a championship game.
We could see another CJ Stroud situation where he's getting somebody, the OC Cliff knows Caleb, so you're gonna get some familiarity there.
But does that happen a lot? Does that happen a lot? I mean, like Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he was behind Favre for a while. Like there was another quarterback off the top of my head that
Steve Young was under Joe Montana for a few years.
Yeah. Steve Young. There was another.
Steve McNair was behind Chris Chandler. But you know what? I want to say something to that, man. I say this all the time about quarterbacks. I'd rather get taken late than early, but in this situation, I'd rather go early and get my money because the teams that are up at the top, they're not that far away from making the playoff. If you really look
the
at
Commanders
those
are right there.
Especially the Commanders. They got 2, 3 two tackles in the middle of that defense. Is them Jared? I mean, not Jared. What's his name? You got Deron Payne and what's the other guy name?
Allen.
Allen. In the middle of that defense, and then you got on the offensive side, you got Brian Robinson, Antonio Gibson, Jahad Dobson, Terry McLaurin. Oh man, listen,
that's talent.
Come on.
Yeah, Dotson's a stud.
If I'm Dallas, if I'm Philadelphia, I'm worried. Commanders have been good. They give the 49ers problem when we play them.
Brian Robinson and what's the other running back name?
They ran the ball. Yeah, they didn't run the ball a lot this past year, but I think Brian Robinson averaged like 6.5 yards per carry, and they wouldn't even run the ball.
Yep.
Right. Commanders are right there, so I think Caleb Williams will help them out a lot, especially with Cliff knowing him. So he's not gonna put him in bad situations. He know how to coach him already. So he's gonna coach to his strengths. And
people don't realize that Caleb Williams has been playing since he was a freshman.
Yep.
The kid has a lot of games under his belt. I don't think he's gonna come in And it's gonna. I
Dude
mean, of
been
course, he's
playing
gonna
so
have to
long.
adjust and adapt. But
Dude been playing a long
yeah,
time, bro. He
Right.
got a lot of games on his belt. He's ready.
All right. Yeah, we already went over that. Let me see. Marvin Lewis joined the Raiders as an assistant head coach, and Chad Ochocinco joins the Raiders coaching
what are you, a
staff.
receiver coach or something, or a consultant?
I don't know. They ain't clarify. He was just a coach.
Hmm.
What's that, RC?
Marvin Lewis will be the head coach by the end of the year or either midway through. Bro, let me tell you what you don't do.
You think so?
Let me tell you what you don't do, Antonio Pierce. You don't bring a guy that's been a coach. He was a star. He had been in Cincinnati so long. He pretty much was probably the mayor or the governor. I'm telling you right now. You
Hey,
can't
Jerry Springer. Jerry Springer was mayor of Cincinnati, right?
Bro, you
Yes,
can't
sir.
tell me that. The Raiders, until I see it actually happen, them be good and be successful, that they're not gonna go through another coach. I wouldn't have put that guy behind me. I would have put somebody young that was up and coming. But to put Marvin Lewis behind you as the assistant coach, okay, and then hire Chad Johnson, you finna be the Cincinnati Raiders.
All right.
You better not bring Jimmy Garoppolo back. That's what you better not do.
They can't
Well, look,
be taking over.
the one thing we'll say about that, AP got rid of Jimmy. He benched him for O'Donnell. He benched people that weren't giving the effort, was playing people undrafted, got results. So I give
think
AP
you're gonna do
credit for
good,
this.
man. I think for me, I'm a stickler putting somebody behind me that knows way more than I do about the game. You know how those locker rooms in the NFL are, they quick to turn on you.
But it does show you, though, AP is trying to bring in somebody that can help him, that he thinks they can help him.
Yeah,
as a mentor,
as a mentor.
Since he's,
I don't know if he played for Marvin Lewis or not.
I can't remember. Did he?
Well, Marvin Lewis was in Baltimore, and then he was in Cincinnati for like 10, 12 damn years.
Yeah.
AP was in Washington, New York. I can't remember where else he was.
He was all over the place.
Arizona, maybe.
Yeah, maybe Arizona. Yeah, maybe, but definitely New York and Washington. That's where I really remember him from.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the Saints are hiring Clint Kubiak. RC, is that a good hire? Yeah.
Where is he coming from?
Your coaching staff. He is the offensive coordinator.
Okay, well,
that's that West Coast system.
This is what I say. I think his dad coached Kubiak. I guarantee is Gary Kubiak is the guy that used to coach that one time probably coached the Texans. So
yeah, that's him. Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say this about the West Coast offense. I think Alvin Kamara in the West Coast offense is Christian McCaffrey. I've been saying this for 2 years. Christian McCaffrey is not the best running back in the NFL. It's Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara can do everything Christian McCaffrey can do, running backwards. I'm telling the dude is good, man. The dude is and he don't get hit a lot. Christian McCaffrey. When I watch Christian McCaffrey play football, I be scared for the brother, man. The brother be taking some licks, but Alvin Kamara plays the game like you ever seen that Jaguar logo? Mm-hmm. That's the level. That's his pad level the whole game.
Yep.
I mean, that dude is great. So in that offense, he's gonna be able to catch out. He's gonna look like Marshall Faulk. So I'm looking forward to seeing him in that offense.
Oh yeah. Since he came
from
49ers, Kyle Shanahan was praising Clint, so that's a good sign. I forgot to mention this about the Raiders. They hired Luke Getsy as their offensive coordinator.
After it fell out with
Cliff.
With Kingsbury. It was a contract disagreement or something.
Yeah, so Luke Getsy went there. Saquon Barkley, the Giants are not expecting to use a franchise tag on him, so he probably gonna hit the market.
Good for him.
He going to the Texans. He going to the Texans. Write it down.
Take your ass somewhere else other than the Texans.
Thomas, where do you think he gonna land at? Barkley.
3 spots. One of them they just said Texans.
Baltimore.
I can see him with the Ravens. Yes, the Ravens, because unfortunately
nice.
J.K. Dobbins is done there. Even though he out, but they ain't gonna bring him back. A third team, now that they got Greg Roman as their offensive coordinator, I can see the Chargers going after him. Greg Roman
This
loves
guy
to
up
run the
here,
football.
this guy knows his stuff. He's on it. He's on it. Took mine away from me. I was thinking the same thing. That's good.
Okay.
I think his days there are just over.
Yeah, they tired. They did him wrong.
So you think Austin in Austin Eckler there?
He's more of a scat back.
More of a scat back.
This is last. This is last Young's contract. See.
Yeah.
Eckler's a dog, man.
He's a dog, but he's more of a scat back, you know. All right, Thomas, this is for you. The Cowboys are interviewing Rex Ryan. You like that?
Rexy.
Fan of that one. Rex, he was a good coach in his days, but he's been on ESPN, you know, trash talking and things like that. I think he's one of those guys. The game of football will always be in his heart, but I don't think he can do it anymore in the NFL. If that makes sense to you, I don't know.
I disagree.
I don't think he could do it.
I disagree, Thomas. I think Rex Ryan will get the best out of those players on their side of the ball. He will know how to use number 11. He will know how to roll coverages. He will put the players in the best position possible to win the game. I love Rex Ryan. That's just my opinion.
I love Rex Ryan, but not in Dallas. He gonna choke the life out of Jerry Jones. Listen, he is just like his daddy.
Didn't they have Rob in Dallas at one time?
Yeah, but do you remember that? Do you remember their dad is known for hitting the OC in the face, punching him on the sideline? Rex Ryan, those Ryans have a like aggressive nature, and so if all that talking on the podcast that Michael Parsons doing gonna be shut down. I don't know if you get that guy in Dallas,
you can't back it up. You're gonna have to shut it down.
That guy
is gonna shut it down. No more podcast for Michael Parsons. He can wrap that up.
Yeah, man.
To be honest, they need a real true leader right now, because I call Mike McCarthy honestly a puppet. I mean, he got a good resume. It looked good, but when your team keep going through the same thing over and over again, you're not holding these guys accountable. Like y'all said, you letting your best player, Parsons, have a podcast. What are you talking about? You need to talk. You need to let your game do the talking. Let some more wins do the talking. Then you win. Dallas, then you go on there.
Being a coach in Dallas is like being the president of the United States. You're just a figurehead. You don't do nothing. Like the government does everything. He's just a figurehead. McCarthy standing over there, if something comes in his ear, it's Jerry Jones. Hey, I think it's time to go see you later. Because I mean, you can just see it, bro. You can see it. What they do don't make sense at times. And how you play the whole season with that two linebackers? Who the linebackers are?
Safety. Well, Van Der Esch got hurt. They should have brought somebody in.
Somebody.
You know, when they got hurt, but
Rex
Ryan's not gonna be there. The price tag probably gonna be too high. Like you said, he's not a yes man. You know, like Jerry would want him to be.
You know, you're saying about McCarthy being a puppet and so on. I mean, Jason Garrett, you could say the same thing. I mean, like it's just Jerry Jones's. You know, Jerry. I mean, there's no way that. I mean, let's say Bill Belichick. I mean, I know it's not a chance in hell, but I mean, like that kind of alpha male. There's no way. You know, it'll be a disaster. It's going to be some no name off the street.
Do you see the type of media this man go? Like when he comes out of comes to their locker room, there's media waiting for him to talk. The owner, he's the only owner in the National Football League who has media waiting on him after you lose your playoff game. Man, ain't nobody got time for that, man. Tripping when you see him. Stick your foot out.
That's why I said he just he don't really care about winning that thing at this point, because like Randy said, I think Jason Garrett was a puppet too. And then you find a guy like you had Tony Romo over the years, but I think Dak Prescott basically the same player. To be honest, they good in the regular season, but when the lights on bright and your legacy is on the line, they do the same thing. So.
Well,
And even a hack like me, who doesn't know anything about football. I mean, like, I knew that.
This is what's crazy about. I understand Niner fans, Steeler fans, Patriot fans can be annoying. But what's weird about Cowboy fans is like they truly believe in their heart that they're one player away or two players away. They're so far away from winning the Super Bowl. This is how far away they are. That the Green Bay Packers went through a rebuild and have built it. The New York, the Lions are rebuilt and ready to roll. The Saints are going to come back. The Seahawks they fired their coach. They ran him out of town. They were good this year. The Rams are rebuilt. So when are you going to do it? When? Because, man, and then what's even crazier than that, this guy, I hate to say it, you remember what the Raiders went through with Al Davis? That's what's going to have to happen with the Cowboys. I don't even want to say what I want to say because I don't want that to happen to him. But until he does that, they're going to be stuck, man, because he's trying to build that team in the image of the 90s, and it ain't working.
We call that the Jerry Jones curse.
He wants 100% credit.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. Well, we're going to shift over to a little bit of NBA real quick. I only have one topic for the NBA because we did a Super Bowl show. So, all right, the Kobe Bryant statue was revealed today. There's a picture of it right there. Vanessa came out and said Kobe picked this. So if y'all have any problems, I don't know. She just
tough.
said y'all have any problems.
You said tough ass. She said tough
ass. Right.
Prayer request box.
Go pray. Go talk to Kobe.
He's getting three trophies. I mean, 3 statues. That's one of 2. Like, it's crazy.
Do y'all like that? Y'all fine with that statue?
Yeah, man.
That's 81. That's when he scored 81 points.
Oh man, that still hurts my heart because that's against my Raptors. I mean, come on, man.
Right, a lot of people complaining. A lot of people saying that he didn't pick that statue. They lied on him.
I got a question, Randy. Where was
sir.
the day that Kobe scored the 81?
You know what? It's so funny you said that, Flowers, because so as you guys know, I live west of Toronto, but I was starting a new job as a news anchor 4 hours away in Cornwall, Ontario. And it was my first day. I didn't even have a place yet. So they were doing provincial elections in province of Ontario. And January 26th, 2006. And I was it was my first time moving out of my parents' home. 26 years old. I'll never forget it. That radio station that I worked at, that's where I heard my boss saying, and an incredible day, Kobe Bryant scores 81 points against the Toronto Raptors. I was like, damn. And here we are to this day.
Right. And there you go. There goes the statue right there showing the 81.
Yeah.
You
know what? I mean, obviously you want to have something for Kobe, but didn't he have Gianna on his shoulder when he walked out of that final game against Utah? Was that? Yeah. I mean, I mean, great statue regardless. But
it's coming. It's coming. That's going to be the second statue. He's getting 3. So it's going to be the next one. Going to be him and Gianna together, and then the last one's going to be 24. But man, I think to me, I don't even care about the statue. I think I remember what's crazy about this. The 49ers was in the Super Bowl the last time when he passed. You know, it was a few days he died. And I remember my wife coming in there saying that Kobe had passed, and I'm like, you know, stop playing, and y'all always listening to everything you see on social media. And then it came across the news, and I said, I've never cried over an athlete. So that one was hard because he dies, and then a few days later, the Niners losing the Super Bowl. I was just screwed up. So it's like I'll never forget his death, and I think the statue is spot on because scoring 81 points and the way he did it. I remember watching that game. I think they won by 5. You know, He took every shot imaginable. Every shot that he could take, a basketball player could take, Kobe took it that night.
If I'm not
and they almost lost.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the Raptors were up by like 20 plus.
Yes.
And I think Kobe had like 26 at half.
Yes.
Like he had mid 20 points, and Raptors were up big. And then
I'm gonna tell you what I knew he was gonna get, at least get 7. Dude started taking shots from the timeline. Dude started going to the basket, just doing. I'm like, I'm listen. I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't like Kobe Bryant. I watched Kobe Bryant. It was agony watching him play because it went against what I believe basketball could look like.
Yeah.
And so he had to grow on me. When he would take shots and it would be 2 guys and one guy had a hand in his face, I'm like, dude, you just flat out selfish, man. This just pass the damn ball. But then I realized he was the best player on the floor because he was making those shots, man.
Yeah.
He was hard. He believed in his ability in himself. So, rest in peace, bro. That's crazy.
I think that between Kobe and Shaq was that lovable kind of personality and so on, and then Kobe was the snot-nosed high school kid who thought he was a lot more than people thought, and then he started winning championships on his own. And you talk about Flowers, you're asking where I was for 81, and I think we all know where we were when we heard that Kobe died. So,
all right, I'll never forget that day. Actually, I was asleep that Sunday, and Gatwood was telling that the other co-host. He called me when he told me Kobe died. I was just like, I couldn't register in my brain what he was telling me. I'm like, what? I'm like, that don't make no sense. Then everybody else called me, and so I got the call till I looked for myself and I saw it. And actually, like Archie said, I never cried over athlete or a game, but I cried over that. I was just like, bro, it was.
My soul burnt.
Yeah,
it burnt that day.
The thing that was really crazy was that, I heard it on the radio. I was on my way to work. I heard it on the radio, and couldn't find anything on the news. Like, I'm on CNN.com. I'm trying to find, and nobody had it for like a good hour,
couple hours,
right? Yeah, and then the news started coming in, and I heard it on a FM music radio station here, right? It's not like it was a tweet or a flash on my phone, right? And yeah, that was a wild day.
I remember seeing the cartoon. They had a cartoon that was floating around of him dying in a helicopter. Right after that, but the cartoon was done way back in whenever. And they started circulating on Twitter, and I really felt like that day was a long day for me for social media because people were like cracking jokes about it and saying that it was like predicted that he was going to pass that way. But you know what really hurt is, and I said this early on Facebook, this is not towards fans. Shaq was a bully. If Shaq could bully you, he bullied you, and Kobe wouldn't allow him to bully him. He bullied Penny Hardaway, he bullied Dwayne Wade. He tried to bully Kobe and it didn't work. And I feel like Kobe was disliked because people didn't really know who Shaq was, and they didn't know what Kobe was chasing. But I believe if you dislike me while I'm alive, the person outside of basketball, don't wait till I die and talk about I'm your little brother. Like how some of the athletes speak about him. All those athletes didn't like Kobe. Did you hear what you said and what I said? He was not a lovable person. So why when a person dies, all of a sudden these people create these fake narratives? Like if you heard these people with these Tupac stories, everybody was his best friend or his girlfriend or his homeboy. Like it's okay to you can pay your respects without saying anything. But some of these athletes, the way they're going about it is kind of really weird because he wasn't revered and loved like that. So
I don't know if you guys seen the Fox documentary series Beyond the Glory, but there was one with because it may have been before your time, but there was one about Kobe Bryant, and he was talking about how he came from Italy and he was an outsider as an American being in Italy. And then he comes back to the States and he feels like an outsider again, let alone the fact that he's an 18-year-old kid and his teammates are going to the strip joint and how he doesn't drink. Like, I'm pretty sure that you'll be
Yeah.
able to find YouTube videos of
I'll
Beyond
send
the
it.
Glory, Kobe
Yeah.
Bryant. That was
He was in the gym.
yeah.
He lived in the gym. Yep.
He lived in the gym.
Yes, indeed. Well, today is Kobe Day. We send our prayers up to the Bryant family, and we like
And
to
one
thank
more
Kobe
thing.
for what.
One more thing.
Yeah,
They
go
doing
ahead.
too much. They doing too much for him, man. I'm gonna be real with you, man. Like, I understand he was loved, but I feel like they doing too much. Like, dude finna get 3 statues. Like, I've been to the Staples
Well,
Center. That Chick Hearn, the Shaq, that's Kareem, that's Magic. You're gonna give Kobe 3 statues. You didn't love that man like that, man. Let that man get 1 statue with his finger up and let's ride it.
I think they doing it because the way he died. I think it was a
I get it.
tragic event.
Of course, but I think RC's saying what a lot of people want to say.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting tired of people milking Kobe Bryant's name,
Yes.
for personal gain and gain of money. Like, I'm gonna say it. I'll say it for you. Like, I put this out here. Like, NBA 2K24.
Yes.
They have been milking that man's name for. I cannot wait till 2K25 get here so they can stop milking Kobe Bryant's name to make money.
Dude, he on like 3 cups of that game. He's on,
Well,
he's on 14,
it almost
17, and 24.
well, it
It's the
almost like
funniest.
it was almost like the sporting goods stores. What they did when he died, they boosted his jerseys to like $300.
Oh, go to the
Where-
Nike website.
Yeah,
You go buy a pair of Kobe's. You gotta pay $3,000 for a pair of Kobe's.
Ridiculous.
It's so funny. If you saw me walk out trying to find something on my shelf here, flowers to your point, I was actually trying to find the Memorial PS5 Kobe edition. Like, I didn't even like Kobe. I was more of a LeBron guy. But RC, to what you were saying though, like that kind of passing, like death, unexpected. Kobe Bryant's up
Tragic.
there with Kobe Bryant's death in a general sense. Forget sports fans. It's up there with John Lennon and Princess Diana.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, worldwide, right?
But Randy, what's crazy? He told Tracy McGrady. This is Tracy McGrady saying is that he wanted to die young. But he was a young guy when he said it. So words have power. He was talking about being what they call a martyr. I think that's what it's called.
Martyr.
A martyr.
I think it's the name of
idol or immortalized.
It's like you immortalized, like he wanted to die that way, not die that way, but he wanted to die young and be a legend. He wanted to be a legend. And so when he do die that way, it's like, I get it that the world see it like that, but Aaliyah died the same way.
Yeah, and she
and respect, I remember that as well. She was born the same year as me. But Aaliyah, Lisa Left Eye Lopez, Selena, you could run down the list. I mean, hey, they weren't as
popular.
They weren't as worldwide.
Global,
Princess
Kobe
Di.
was big in China.
Yeah, international. Yeah,
Novak Djokovic was crying. I think they were at the Australian Open tennis tournament. Like
right.
AC Milan, the soccer team.
I get it.
Hey, you see what we did for WNBA?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get it.
I mean,
I get it. I get it. I just feel like, to me, man, like, and I'm a realist, man. I just see it like that. Like, people love the dead more than they do the living. Like,
that's true.
Even when you look at his accomplishments, there's no way LeBron James should be mentioned with Kobe Bryant. It's not even close. But because LeBron is more likable and he's more for the fans and more for his culture, Kobe was just basketball, and so therefore that people it's Jordan and LeBron, and I'm like, how could the guy that mirrors Michael Jordan?
I don't know now, RC, because a lot of people nowadays, they don't like LeBron because of the extracurricular stuff that he brought into basketball.
Yeah, I'm saying this on the lines of this. Even when he was living, you had people not put him in their top 10.
You're definitely right.
Yeah, ESPN was terrible, man. They ran a whole episode.
Dude, listen. Let me explain something to you. every year I hated LeBron when he was in Miami. The more I hated him, the more he won. I said this to a guy earlier. I said, hating don't stop greatness.
Right.
LeBron won, regardless if I was gonna hate or not. It's kind of like what's gonna happen in the Super Bowl. Somebody wants somebody to. We don't have no control over their greatness. And so Kobe greatness. I remember seeing a guy like, cause I didn't know Kobe middle name was Bean. I wasn't that invested. But he's killing Utah. Boom. And all of a sudden, this dude says, F Kobe Bean Bryant, because he lost money on it. You don't bet against Brady, Bryant. You don't bet against Peyton Manning. You don't bet against Peyton in the regular season for sure. Certain people don't put your money against. And so it was like, man, that dude didn't get no credit when he was alive. People saying he only won because he had Shaq, but Magic had Kareem and James Worthy and Michael Cooper. He had like 4 All-Stars on one team, 4 Hall of Famers on one team.
And future Hall of Famer, Wilkes, all kind of people. Spencer Haywood.
He don't get he's getting the credit now because he's dead, man.
And I'll tell you right now, I'm one of those guys because I did not like Kobe Bryant at all. I mean, at all in the sense of like I could definitely appreciate him, but if I had to choose, definitely, and probably still say LeBron over Kobe. But after his passing, I definitely had a hell of a lot more appreciation for him. I mean,
that's a true thing to say. The appreciation, your appreciation went up for him.
I don't want to do that for LeBron James. He will not have to die for me to say he is one of the best I've ever seen. He's accomplished everything. To me, I think he's the most, like, I've never seen an athlete with that much pressure walk that whole. I mean, he was a kid coming into the league. He's averaging 20 as a kid. The guy been playing since 2002. So, I mean, dude, I don't want the man to die for me to have to say he's one of the best I've ever seen. Kobe gets disrespected because of Shaq, and Shaq was lazy. I think Shaq is overrated. I said that one time on talking to some guy. Like, man, you crazy. If I could take my elbow and put it in your mouth,
yeah,
that's the only way I can score on you. If I could dunk my way to 50 points, you're not better than me. You wasn't even the best defensive player in the league. I think Kobe got the most out of that body. He wasn't the most athletic. He was not Michael Jordan. His hands were not big as Michael Jordan's hands. He worked his ass off, man, and he accomplished a lot. And I feel like it's being spoken on and highlighted because he's dead, and it's sad. I just really feel like it's sad.
Thomas, do you have any thoughts on the whole Kobe situation?
I remember the day, honestly, and when he died. I remember exactly what I was doing. I was on a date. I was on my way to a date with my girlfriend. I was driving a rental car and everything. My dad called me, told me the news. I said, I nearly crashed a rental car. I was like, what? Wow. Like, I was like, it's such a shock. But yeah, I think to my perspective, I think Kobe, regardless of the events, like it's unfortunate that happened to him. I think he does deserve the statue. But 3, I do believe that with RC, I think 3 is pushing the limit because at the end of the day, he's one of the greatest Lakers of all time. He's always going to bleed that gold and purple for everything that he's done with the franchise. But when you have other all-time greats like Magic, Shaq, Kareem, and several others for the Lakers that don't even got 2 or 3 outside that stadium, I think it's pushing a little much to have Kobe have 3 out there in LA.
Too much.
Yeah, I feel like they should have 2.
Front, put 24 on the back. Put
I think you pay homage.
Yeah,
I think you pay homage. Yeah, I think you give him 2. You pay homage to him as a player and pay homage to him as a father.
But Ben, listen to me, bro. It was other people who died in that plane, and that's what hurt me so bad because those people were Kobe Bryant's in their world, and they're overlooked. They're not getting the statue. I get it. He was a star, but we treat some people like gods, and I feel like, to me, as a fan, it's overkill. Let the man rest in peace. Allow his wife to grieve. Allow his children. His children are sitting on the front row watching them unveil that statue, and it's hard for them. That's their daddy. So they got to come back again and again to see another statue.
Yeah.
Well, I think that would be a great honor. I mean, it's just like fallen soldiers. You pay tribute.
I mean, it is also the world we live in. I mean, like, if 3 of those, the husband, wife, and daughter, I mean, they were a family of 5. So that means that there's a son and daughter out there who lost their mother, father, and sister
Right.
in the Altabellis.
Right.
And RC, when you did because I remember, if you remember Nick Aidenhart, he was a LA Angels pitcher. He pitched his first start, and that night after the game, he was killed in a car accident with two of his friends. And the news narrative was Nick Aidenhart and two others die, and one of the family members of the other two said, that's the part that is salt in the wounds, for lack of a better term. And I completely get what you're saying. The reality is that we would not know the Chesters and Christina Mauser and Ara Zabayan if it wasn't for Kobe Bryant and Gianna Bryant.
Right.
Yeah. So, hey, like I said, they reviewed the statue of Kobe, and a good tribute to Kobe on his day. Big fan. That would make me a Laker fan, so I understand it all. All right, guys, we coming to a close on the show. Thank y'all for joining us. Randy, where can they find you at, man?
At What's Up Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and YouTube. Always appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for having me on.
He'll pop back up. There you go.
Yeah, right. I kicked myself out of the studio. I do that. Hit the wrong button. Did you finish?
Yeah.
Okay. Thomas, where can people find you at, man?
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube platforms. You guys can see On the Hot Podcast on all those platforms.
What's your first name, Thomas? First name is Thomas?
Yeah, it is. Thomas, your mic cuts out in the beginning and then it runs. So just let you know.
I thought, sometimes I'd be messing up on my end, so I don't know if I'm messing up or y'all guys you tell me.
I'm gonna look him up. That's all I was trying to figure out what his
it's on the Hop. You can go to our Instagram page and you can find them pretty quickly. Okay. Especially in the I think I posted it on the IG feed or whatever.
Okay.
You can go look on the post and find him there. Like I said, we were gonna have Lock Top, Paulie from Lock Top and Coach AP, but they had Paulie is sick and Coach AP had an engagement to go into. So but Paulie said when he feel a little better, he definitely want to be on the show again.
Get well, Paulie.
And
get well.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Paulie. Hope you feeling better, man. All right, guys. That show, the Super Bowl Super Show, was great. Time to eat good. Time to watch the Patrick Mahomes lose, getting tired of Taylor Swift.
I don't eat nothing during football games. I can't do it.
See, RC, you're a better man than me, though. You going to watch Super Bowl with other people. I watched the Super Bowl with Flowers. Yeah, I watched Super Bowl with Flowers and some college friends, and that was my first time I ever did it. Well, it was the first time since being Super Bowl, and we won. So I just don't like watching big games like that with other people because
I couldn't stand watching the game over there. Look, we could have won, and I would have hated it.
Right. Well, the thing about Flowers though, cause I started crying, and I think he felt.
I feel bad for you.
He didn't feel bad, but he was like, "This only guy I congratulate, guy. You know how."
You are the only Saints fan I congratulated. That and my uncle Daryl, my cousin's father. Y'all are the only two Saints fans I congratulated.
So this is my plan, Ben. My brother-in-law having a Super Bowl party. They're gonna put a TV upstairs for me. But I got a plan. Taking my own vehicle. Shit ain't going right. Get the fuck out of there. I'm getting out of there. But if it's going well, I'm still leaving because I'm going to celebrate. My thing is, the last time they was in the Super Bowl, 6 minutes to go, I called my wife and said, "Hey, look, get ready. I'm coming down there to party because it's a lot. It's over." 1 hour later, I'm laying on the floor. I ventilate because we done lost to the Chiefs. So being by myself didn't work, so I'm gonna try something different.
Okay, I see. I see
yeah,
what you're thinking. Because, like I said, when I watch the games with other Saints fans, they be making me mad.
Yes.
Like, he's so you need to get rid of him. Like, they just start talking like out of side of mouth. What you say?
I said, look, my homeboy be texting me, man, fuck, man, we suck, dude. Like, it's the first quarter. Do not text me.
Right. That be pissing me off.
Well, I gotta say, because obviously with the Raptors, it was such uncharted waters, and I needed everybody around me get all the support. But when the Leafs, because Toronto Maple Leafs in hockey hadn't won the Stanley Cup since 1967. My father was not even didn't even immigrate to this country, and he's been here over 50 years. And because my wife doesn't like hockey. And when the Leafs get eliminated, I get so mad, and she's like, grinding my gears and so on. I'm like, you're sleeping on the couch. I don't want to see you right now.
When it comes to hockey, on the couch.
yeah. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Hockey.
I have changed as a fan because I've yet to receive a royalty check in the mail for being one. So I need one. As animated. But I'm gonna tell you what I did in Super Bowl 13 or 12. It was Super Bowl 2012 when the Niners were playing the Ravens. That's another Super Bowl. We're on the goal line finna win the Super Bowl. We got Frank Gore, we got Colin Kaepernick, we got Michael Crabtree. All we got to do is just run it in, Kaepernick. They throw the ball 4 straight times, we lose. I got in the tub with no water. I just went and got in the tub and just laid. And the girl I'm dating at that time, she was like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why would you get in the tub with no? I said, you don't understand. You don't understand. You don't understand. You're supposed to be supporting me through this. That woman told me, she was like, man, something wrong with you, man. Like, you need to come get in the bed, man. You are in the tub with no water in it. I'm like, man. So at that moment, I knew never again would I be that way. Because
dog drowning.
Yeah, RC, I know what you mean. I learned.
I was drowning off air.
Hey, you about to jump off the balcony. Yeah, cause RC, I had the same way know when my Saints would lose, I'll just get mad. Somebody kind of ask me a question, like I'll blow up at them.
They be like that, bro.
With the Saints, he lose in the worst ways, bro. So it's like,
right.
Well, Thomas is a Cowboys man. Now you were probably too young with Tony Romo, right? You were just.
What you talking about with the field goal?
I was in that Seattle.
Yeah,
that was right when I got into football, and when he fumbled that snap, I learned to really channel my emotions watching the Cowboys over years. Because I would want to go through a wall and everything, but now it's just expected, I'd just be like, I will honestly say, out of all America, I'm probably the realest Cowboys fan because I'll be like, okay, they're gonna do good in the regular season, divisional title, but I already know the outcome. They don't got that alpha. They don't got that dog in them to go to the next level, and they don't have the characteristics to get there. So Tom, like now, go ahead, RC.
Go ahead, Tom. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tom.
I didn't expect what was gonna happen when we lost the Packers like that. But I knew it was coming if we had to play the 49ers or maybe a team like the Lions. I already knew it was coming.
Dude, you're gonna win a Super Bowl. Listen to me. Everybody on this panel team has won a Super Bowl at some point. The 49ers are going to eventually do it. The Cowboys are going to eventually do it. When Michigan did it and it was over, I was like, now what? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You're going to have that now what moment, like all this agony and up all night and getting sick on the stomach and getting mad, and then they win it, and it's going to be like, now what? Well, because they get the trophy and the money, we just get.
I need my check, man, because like I said, I knew I had a problem. I forgot what game it was, but the Saints was losing, and my wife, she always come at the wrong time. She came and tried to take a picture. She tried to come and take a picture of me. And I about to say, I almost sucked the phone out of her hand. I was like, get that phone out of my face. That's why I realized I had a problem. I said, wait.
Well, let me
I feel like Devontae Adams. You know how Devontae Adams showed that guy?
Did you say Benjamin?
You going to jail?
Benjamin.
Let me paint you.
Y'all so funny, man.
Let me paint you another picture about the Leafs, right? Because obviously hockey in Canada is football like the USA. Leafs haven't won a Stanley Cup since 1967. They haven't won a playoff. Like last year was the first time they won a playoff series in 19 seasons.
And Randy, you want me to root for them?
Oh, hey, you know what? I need all the help I can get. I mean, your team's in the Super Bowl. You need to sprinkle. No, you said now you said that you were into Vancouver.
Edmonton Oilers is my team. Edmonton Oilers, I picked them.
No, listen, I mean, just because it's in Canada doesn't mean I know everybody. I mean, like Edmonton's all the way over there. Do you know how many times people have come up to me from USA saying, "Oh, my cousin is in Winnipeg. Do you know him?" Like, I mean, that's like asking you guys. That's like asking you guys from Mississippi. My neighbor's cousin is in Arkansas. Like, you know, his name is Dave. Have you seen him? Tell him to call me back. I mean, it's a big country.
Right. That's crazy.
But
man. That's
you know what, RT, I do have to say, though, if Edmonton does win a cup, because here's a trivia question for you guys, and I'm putting you guys on the spot. Swift, I apologize for running this, but
okay. You go ahead.
When was tell me the year, the last time a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup?
I can't even name that.
93.
Oh,
wow, Flowers brought it.
What?
Flowers brought it. 1993. Well done. Well done.
It was Gretzky and who am I thinking about? Gretzky and
do you have the team? Do you know which team did it?
Montreal. No, it wasn't Montreal.
No. Where did Gretzky come from? I'm having a brain fart right now.
Man, you guys are bringing it. I'm impressed. Yeah. You know what? It was Montreal. Montreal beat Gretzky and the LA Kings.
Mm-hmm.
LA Kings in 1993.
I knew it. Hey,
wow, that's impressive, Flowers. Very impressive. That's why we call him Professor Flowers. He's the student. He's the student of the game.
And the Leafs were in the semifinals, and it was a fluke goal in Game 7 that got LA to the Stanley Cup. I mean, that was me in the bathtub moment. I mean, at 13, I was just I was horrified at this fluke goal.
Like, dude, listen, I'm going into this Super Bowl with Nick Moody. If Nick Moody is kicking a field goal to win or lose the game,
he's been clutch though. He's been good this whole year.
Listen, but this is the thing, bro. This is the thing.
Pressure.
I'm gonna tell y'all this. I think the worst the fan base that probably has the most, that probably needs therapy, it's got to be Buffalo, because they saw their team lose 4 different ways. Yeah. You lose the close one, then you get the next one, you kind of competitive, and you get washed in the end, and you just get shown up, blown out in the last 2. So it's like Buffalo fans, the ones that remember, bro, they kind of got, it's traumatic. That's a traumatic experience. Like, Saints fans could speak to that as well. Some of the weirdest things have happened in those games that don't even make sense. And then the Niners fans, they had like a video going around of the guy fumbling the ball, and man, look.
But I gotta say, 2 words: Cleveland Browns.
Oh man,
Cleveland Browns. I mean, you have your team stolen from you, from Art Modell going to Baltimore. They win Super Bowls there. Let alone, if you guys remember 1997 World Series, my man Tony Fernandez, because he was one of my favorite players when he played for the Toronto Blue Jays. He had a Bill Buckner-like error in Game 7 of the 97 World Series against the Florida Marlins. See, that's how old I am. I'm bringing wisdom. I'm bringing wisdom.
Don't leave about the most recent one, the Detroit Lions. Get to the NFC Championship game this year. You pretty much just got to kick field goals to get to the Super Bowl, and your coach does the most unthinkable thing twice, not once, twice, that fan base, man, has been through it too.
Yeah. I think everybody got stories about
Boston fans are too
coming up
spoiled.
short. Yeah.
Man, Bill used to torment me as a child. Bill and Brady.
All right, guys, man. Thank y'all for tuning in to this special episode. We'll be back Monday to break down the Super Bowl victor and the loser. So it must see TV, especially if the 49 lose. Must see TV.
I'll be here. I'll be here.
Hey, don't be saying you're sick now.
No.
All right, don't say your daughter have a basketball game.
Oh no, she does. She does have a basketball. She does have a basketball game. The playoffs start. But I will leave after her game because the boys play after that to get right here, to be right here. Because I ain't running from it, man. I ain't running. They don't pay me to be a fan. I'm gonna be all right.
You gotta represent. All right, man. All right, guys. We'll see y'all next time. Same time, same channel. We are out of here. Yes, sir.